Hello, it's Mike McLean, and welcome to my YouTube channel, where every week I give out the best tips in the business on how to make money and save money renting out Section 8 properties.
Hello out there, everyone. It's Mike McLean from the Section 8 Bible, the #1 book ever written for Section 8 landlords. All right, gang, I promised you last week that I'd be giving you a gem of a summertime tip that will not only save you time, but this tip, I promise you, is also going to save you a ton of money. 90% of the homes that I purchase in Philadelphia have a front and a rear lawn. Now, I put in my lease that the tenant is responsible for cutting the lawn. Most of your tenants are going to cut the lawn, but you will get a handful of tenants that let that lawn get out of control. Now, if it's the beginning of the summer or it's a new tenant, I'll usually go over, I'll knock on the door and say, hey, I'm the landlord, not the landscaper. It's your responsibility to keep the lawn cut. Now, I know I'm in for a whole lot of trouble if that tenant responds with, well, I don't have a cutter. Well, first of all, it's called a lawnmower, and you better get one because I'm not the guy that's going to be cutting the lawn. What happens in Philadelphia when your tenant doesn't cut the lawn? Two things. The first thing is Philadelphia has a bunch of guys that walk around in green pants all day writing up nuisance fines. You're going to receive a $50 fine on your property for high weeds or a high lawn. Then it's going to escalate to $75, then $125, and then $175 until you actually pay the fine. Now, your tenant's not going to get the fine. You are going to get the fine. And if you don't pay the fine, you're going to get a lien on your property for the amount of the fine. Okay? That's the first thing that can happen. Now, if you're renting your property through Section 8, you can file your annual inspection. The inspector will come out, see that the tenant hasn't cut the lawn, and he will cut your pay right there and knock you off the payroll. Now you might lose $200, $300, $500, whatever the amount is, until you get that lawn cut. Okay? Now, how do I fight fire with fire? I eliminate the lawn. You might be asking yourself, what do you mean you eliminate the lawn? Well, about 12 years ago, a company called Ortho invented a product called Ortho Ground Clear, and it's the best stuff to hit the market ever. When I say ground clear, this shit is better than napalm, okay? Here's the product right here. It costs you $30 for a gallon of this stuff. You mix up 1 quart per gallon in your sprayer, and you spray the whole entire lawn with it, and nothing will grow. What I do a double dose. I put 2 quarts into a gallon to make sure nothing ever grows. And I'll spray that nuisance tenant, whoever the tenant is that's being a pain in my ass, I'll spray their entire lawn in the beginning of the summer. I'll go back 6 weeks later and spray it again. And then I will go back at the end of the summer and spray it again. Now, sometimes one of the tenants might call and say, Mr. Mike, whatever that fertilizer is or whatever you're spraying on the lawn isn't working because nothing's growing. And then I got to laugh and think, well, it's working just fine. So anyway, the product's called Ground Clear. Like I said, it costs $30. It's the best $30 you're ever going to spend. This $30 will prevent any fine from happening. It'll prevent any failed inspection. And believe me, not a blade of grass will grow on that lawn if you spray it 3 times a year. Here's the little cheap sprayer I get. I get this sprayer right here, $10 at Home Depot. I put the nozzle on fan and I let the lawn have it. 3 times a year. It'll eliminate all your problems and all your headaches from nuisance fines, failed inspections. You'll be done with it. Anyway, I'm glad you tuned in. I hope you enjoyed your money-saving tip for the week. Next week, I'm going to be giving you a really good tip on windows. I can save you a ton of money when it comes to putting windows in one of your Section 8 rentals. Anyway, make sure you get to my website, www.section8bible.com. You can check out all my products there. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Oh, and I almost forgot to show you that picture that I was telling you about last week. All right, take a look at the picture. My house, of course, is the one on the left with no grass growing on the lawn or no weeds. The house to the right, the tenant decided to plant corn on the front lawn. I can't make this shit up. I know the landlord that owns the house, which is directly next to mine. I haven't seen him all summer, so I don't know what kind of fines he's been getting on this property all summer long, because these things have been growing on the guy's front lawn for about 3 months now. Okay. Also, about 10, 12 years back, I don't know if it was in volume 1 or volume 2. I wrote so many books I forget. But in one of my books, either volume 1 or volume 2, I know another landlord that I'm friends with, that one of his tenants decided to plant rice in the front lawn. So make sure you go out and get that ground clear and take the whole lawn out before you get more trouble than you bargained for. Once again, Mike McLean from the Section 8 Bible. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week.
Hope you enjoyed my video. If you found it helpful, make sure you subscribe and share. Also, you can get over to my website, www.section8bible.com, and you can check out all my products there. Thanks for watching.